A 2K doorbell cam? Let's check it out. Dave Taylor here, and I have the second generation Nooie 2K wireless doorbell camera. Now, first off the bat, I want to say it's a fairly big device, but all of these tend to be fairly sizable. But it's a really great unit and it covers all the core needs that you have for a doorbell camera. Now, I got the original generation of this and I did an install video. You can watch that if you want. This one installs exactly the same way. It configures exactly the same way, but they've done a bunch of refinements. This is the second generation unit. So if you buy the unit off of Amazon, you'll be getting this newer one. So what's changed? The camera's redesigned. They've improved the Wi-Fi signal connectivity. There's a new doorbell amp, which makes a huge difference. There's a new base station amp. It all just sounds so much better. And the size of this unit is a little bit bigger. So on the front, it's a little easier to figure out how to push the doorbell. So, right? So you're hearing both the doorbell itself ringing. This would be right next to my door. I'll show you that in a couple of minutes. And then this is the base unit that you would have somewhere in your house. I generally plug it in near my front door, so there's probably 10 feet or less between the two units, and that seems to work great. Now, you do have to do a tiny bit of programming to get them to pair, but it's actually pretty easy to do. Now, let me tell you some of the features of this. So, it has a decent amount of connectivity. You can use it 2.4 gigahertz or 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi. 5 gigahertz is better, but you might have a busy band there with all the other devices you have hooked up, if you're like me. You can also use it with direct Ethernet, and there are different chime options. We'll get to that when I get to the app in just a minute. Local data storage on here, you can see on the side, there's a little tiny slot. That's a micro SD card. So what I did is I dropped in a 32 gig micro SD card. So every time this sees video, this unit actually just streams it to here and then this stores it, which means I can both access it from the app, but I can also go back and get to it later if I want to, or want to review who was ringing my doorbell at 2 in the morning. So, all of that's great. Now, Nooie also has a cloud storage option, but that is something that has a monthly subscription. It's not expensive. If you prefer that, you can definitely do that. But I really like local storage because then I don't have to pay incrementally. The camera itself, it's a 2K video camera with a 158 degree field of view, includes night vision, motion detection. They have what they call passive infrared or PIR, which is an important capability for security or surveillance or doorbell cameras. You want to have that. It also works with radar, and you can set it to do human detection. So if for some reason you have, deer constantly walking by your front door or something, you can actually set it so that it will minimize the number of false alarms that you would get on that. There are microphones in this, and you can actually, with the app, you can talk back and forth and see live streaming through the video camera. So someone rings on the doorbell and you can say, "I'm in the shower, I'll be out in 5 minutes," or just go ahead and leave the package, even though you're secretly 800 miles away, right? No one's gonna know. They don't see you, but you sure see them, which is really cool. Now, you can also connect it with both Google Home or Alexa if you want to work with that. And like I said, there's the app. So let me go ahead and show you the app. So this is on my iPhone 13 Pro running the latest iOS. And the app is ingeniously called Nooie. And what you can see is that if I go to live, it's going to be, we'll get to that firmware update later, but you can see it's kind of a weird image because it's just sitting on the table here, but I can do this. And now you can see me on the camera, and you can see me on the doorbell camera, and you can get a sense of how wide angle it is and how it's a really clean, crisp image. I will show you in a moment how it actually can give you I'll show you footage once I actually install this right by my door. But I just want to show you that the base station, if I go here, and I've named this front door, logically enough, so I can get to all these different options, but what I want to do is I want to get to settings, and then I want to choose a different ringtone. So the default is chimes, but we can do cosmic, and I believe it actually plays that. Oh, no, maybe not. We'll do this. It's a little complex because the doorbell is actually also ringing, but let's try this. And notice the motion detector has triggered, so now it's showing me what the camera sees. And of course, my dog is very excited about the fact that the door is ringing, right? So he's like, oh my God, there's someone at the door. And they keep ringing the doorbell. Sorry, pup, you're okay. It's okay. So that's really the key features here. There are various settings. If we go to the doorbell and we go to, we will just ignore this for now, and we'll go to settings. And then here's where you can do things like enable or disable that passive infrared and such. So you can say, you know, I want this to be as sensitive as possible. So I want to know if something happens even 20 feet away from my doorbell. But you can also adjust it to something else if you want. You can turn it on and off. You can turn off human shape detection. All of this, it's very, very user configurable. What I would recommend is install it, give it 24 hours with just all the default settings, and then increase it if it's not enough, or decrease it if it's too sensitive. So that's pretty much everything I have. You've seen the app. Let me go ahead and actually turn off my recording. There we go. And my dog is still growling. It's like there's still someone at the door. But that's everything. And as I said, this is the second generation of the product. And the biggest improvement that I noticed is that the old base unit took a while to actually start ringing. And then when it did, it didn't sound very good because it felt like it was just trying to catch up and it wasn't fast enough. This new one with the new base station amplifier and everything makes a huge difference. It absolutely solves that problem. This is a really great solution. Now, let me go ahead and I'm going to install this right by my front door, and then we'll have one more peek at that video, and then I'll wrap this up. So hang on just a second. All right, I've installed it. Now, let me show you a couple of pictures. The first one is just of the mounting plate, and then the second one is actually the doorbell attached to the mounting plate. Now you can set it so it will actually have an alarm if someone tries to take it. You don't really want that to happen. But let me just show you real quick in the box is that it comes with a 15-degree mounting plate, which is what I have, so that the camera's just pointed a little bit more towards the center of the door. But you can also do a flush mounting plate if you prefer. And then it also has Ethernet if you want to try direct connect. It has this cutout or hole template so you can make sure you get the mounting plate perfectly installed. And it has USB-C to USB-A. And in fact, I should tell you that this plugs into the wall. You can see I have it on my extension cord for this demo. And then the doorbell itself, you pop it off and there's a big rechargeable battery with a USB-C connection. And really important, the first time that you get this, plug it into USB and let it charge. It's probably going to take at least 6 hours, but there's a little red LED that needs to turn white or turn off. Can't remember exactly what it is, but if it's still showing red, charge it more. You could see earlier on my demo that I only have a 35% charge. I need to take that doorbell cam off and charge it all the way. I'll do that tonight when it's overnight, that's fine. And then it will last. That charge lasts, in my experience, a couple of years. It lasts forever, but I also don't have a million people coming and ringing my doorbell, so that might affect how long it lasts, but charge it all the way, super important. And then finally, the other thing they include is a little bag, and that is full of wall fasteners and anchor mounts. So if you need to actually install this on a wall and you've never had anything there, then that'll make sure this doesn't fall or get loose or anything. honestly, super easy to work with. Now, let me just show you real quick. I'm gonna go back to screen recording because now I have the doorbell installed. So I should say the doorbell camera. So we can choose the video. I'm gonna go live. We're still gonna ignore that update. And now, if I choose that, I can then zoom in and actually see, here's the view from my doorbell cam, and oh look, I have a package on the doorstep. I didn't even know that. So that's super helpful, and you can zoom in, you can see on the right there's some information. That's pretty darn nice. I am not particularly close to my front door, but I feel like I am right there standing and peeking out the window, and that's actually a really nice feeling from a security perspective. And then I can just go right back to, where am I? Well, I'm a little confused here what's happening, but there we go. That should do it. No, it's a little confused. I think there might be a slight dot app update in the near future, but be that as it may, I'll turn off the recording and I will tell you that my experience with this, other than that one little quirk that I just saw, my experience has been really good. I really like my Nooie doorbell cam. I'm really excited to upgrade to the 2nd generation because it does fix some problems, and most importantly, inside the house, hearing someone ring that doorbell, it's going to sound better, make more sense, and help people understand what they're actually hearing. And that's actually pretty important because I found with the old one, people were like, what's that weird scratchy sound? I'm like, oh, that's the doorbell. But the new one just sounds so much better, such an improvement. So definitely worth checking out. We do need to talk about the price, but before we get to the price, I'm going to ask if you could subscribe to my channel. Click or tap on that subscribe button, turn on notifications so you know about my new content, and we're connected and rocking and rolling. That's pretty cool. All right, well, this, which is now installed on the side of my door, and this, and all of the mounting kit, and the app and everything, is the Nooie 2K wireless doorbell camera, and it's $199.99. Currently minus $50 on Amazon.com, dropping it down to $149.99 at Amazon.com. It is fully self-contained. Bring your own micro SD card if you want local storage. And of course, you need to get the app and everything. But if you have Wi-Fi, you're ready to rock and roll with this huge upgrade to an old school doorbell with no idea who the heck's at your door. So definitely one worth checking out, and I will hope to catch you in my next video.